I'm sitting here with George Martin, captain of the New York Giants, Super Bowl champs, Super Bowl 21.
Correct.
George, 2,003-mile trek across the country?
Actually, Brandon, 3,003-mile trek across the country.
What inspired you to do this? I mean, what gave you this inspiration to do it?
Well, first of all, Brandon, we all know what happened on 9/11/2001, and I think we were all affected by it. Well, I wanted to do something to reciprocate to those wonderful heroes who went down to ground zero, and they were looking for people, survivors. And I thought that that was the best form of heroism that I'd ever seen. And so I came up with a Journey for 911 to walk across the entire United States to raise money for their medical help and also to call awareness for their plight. And we were instrumental in getting that Zadroga bill passed for their medical assistance.
3,000 miles, that's insane. Who'd you meet? I mean, you went all over the country. Who'd you meet? Give me a couple of really special people that you met across the way.
Well, first of all, the special people, you would not know them by name, but I met so many medical technicians, I met police officers, I met border patrolmen who came and escorted us almost the entire length of the United States. And in addition to that,
give me one person that really
I'll give you one example.
out.
It's in the book. It's in the book, Brandon. It's a grandmother who came out. She had 4 grandchildren, and she came out and she pulled in the front of us as we were along the road, and she stopped and she said, "Mr. Martin, I apologize. I don't mean to hold you up." She says, "But I wanted my grandchildren to see a part of history and to meet a real hero." And with that, she went in her purse and she made a contribution right on the roadside because she said she didn't want her grandchildren to miss this opportunity to meet someone like myself. That will stick with me for the rest of my life. Amazing
stories all throughout. What's more taxing, this trip or an NFL season?
Oh, without question. I'm old school, Brandon. So we go back to when we had those two-a-days with one-on-ones, nutcrackers, and we didn't wear shorts back in those days. So I walked across the entire United States and no one tried to hit me. So NFL training camps by far are tougher.
In the book, Bill Parcells, he talks about your bravery, your leadership. Talk to me about that relationship with Bill, and talk to me what it took to kind of get across. I mean, that's days, your feet swollen, physically. Anything that can happen that really set you back?
Well, we have a great relationship, Bill and I. He asked me to induct him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I thought it was only appropriate for him to do the foreword to this book, which he did, and he talked about some of the character traits that I have. And what I really like about the journey itself is that we had the opportunity to almost have a Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer. Every day we met people, Brandon, that either had an impact on our lives or we had an impact on their lives. We raised over $3 million, which was matched by the 3 hospitals that we had contracted with. So that's $6 million that this Journey for 911, just around the bend, raised for 9/11.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, if you wanted to donate money to 911, A, how would you do that? And B, how do you pick up your book?
Well, first of all, you can do it many ways. You can also go to the Steiner website, but you can go to my website, georgedmartin.com. You'll see access to Amazon, or you can go to Amazon or Amazon Kindle, and you can purchase the book through those organizations as well.
Now, if I bought the book on your website, being a big Giant fan that I am, are you autographing those books, or do you have to specially, if I want to get it personalized or anything like that?
We have a special order right now that if you buy and donate over 100 books, I will personalize each and every one of those books. I know it's a lot, but it's still easier than training camp. But anyone who wants me to autograph that book for them, I will be more than happy to do so because it's an honor for them to receive this great gift.
Last thing, what's the message here in this book? And what do you want people to remember about your voyage and how maybe it relates to them?
Well, first of all, and I've had this said a lot, it doesn't matter who you are, Brandon. You don't have to be a professional athlete to make a difference, and you don't have to walk across the country to make a difference. You can walk across the street to that elderly person who may be shut in. You can confide in a young kid who may be looking for some guidance, or you can buy this book and give it to them as a present because it is inspirational in every sense of the word.
Got to ask you one last question about the Giants this year.
Yeah.
Do you like this team? Can this team bounce back? They've had a little bit of an up, a little bit of a down, but they look like they've got some talent. What's your assessment of this team and where they'll end up?
Well, I think Tom Coughlin is still that magician. He can still pull a rabbit out of his hat. I am a little bit dismayed because they changed the offense, but I think they were building for the future. But why do that with an established 10-year 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion in Eli Manning? I was a little bit discouraged by that, but I know that they're going over that learning curve now. They're showing progress and they're showing promise, and I'm encouraged about the second half of the season.
Good luck with this book. An amazing voyage. 3,003 miles. I mean, I can't even imagine what that must have took and what that must have been like. But it's amazing that you did it. This book's awesome. I highly recommend it. Do not buy a book. Buy at least 3. One for you, one for a friend, and one for someone that you know would love this book. And if you can, pick up 100. He's going to personally autograph all of them. It's a no-brainer. Yep. Go to Amazon.com. Go to GeorgeMartin.com. Go to SteinerSports.com. You can pick them up on any one of those 3 sites. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Brandon. It's a pleasure.